Welcome back, M.A.D.E fam, back with another week, another video. Before we get started today, y'all know how it go. Send me a comment, send me a DM. Let me know how you been doing, how your mental health been holding up. I will answer, will reply. Um, as far as my week though, man, it's been a rough week. I'm not gonna lie. It's been good, but it's been mostly good. But I had a bad moment that kind of messed everything up. But overall it's been good. I got merch, as you can see. I'm wearing one of my shirts now. Shout Jazz over at Infinity. He's a real close friend of mine, man, and we got some things coming. We got some things cooking up, man. We gonna have that out to y'all soon. It's not gonna be just clothes, so I'm not gonna speak too much on it. We still in the works, but we look forward to that coming. Look forward to that coming. Um, I dibbled and dabbled in a little bit of music. Surprisingly, I haven't done music in a long time. Really posting too. I've made music, but I really didn't like it. Like after, hmm, I couldn't even tell you when it started to like fade for me, but like it just stopped sounding how I would want it to sound. So I just stopped posting. I stopped finding the desire to post, and especially now, like I have a lot of written poems and songs written, but I wasn't comfortable enough to put them on the beat until shout out Hood, man, my nigga Hood. If you watching this, bro, shout out you. He really gave me insight, man. Like use my voice, like, cause I was real insecure about my teeth, like not having no teeth, so I talk funny now, so I don't sound how I did before. And so, yeah, it kind of bothered me. So I'm like, I'm not about to get on the beat, and but I did. I tried it out, and I actually don't sound too bad. But it's just like I gotta work myself up to that point again where I'm back confident with the music. Um, y'all might get a song out of me. Y'all might. We gonna see. We gonna see how it goes. I'm not pressed about it, but y'all might get a song out of me. A lot of y'all been asking because I was doing music before. A lot of y'all know I was doing music before, man. I'm sorry, man. My sinuses are driving me crazy right now. But I got the merch. I got some music. I've been doing training at my job. Today was my last day of training. It was a good week, man. I haven't had a job with people that care about you like the job I'm at now. Like, man, I appreciate everybody at my job. If anybody from my job is watching this right now, and you're in my training class, you know how we got down this week, man. It's been real fun, real informative too, because this is my first time in this field working with kids. So hearing different stories and getting advice on what to do, what not to do, it's really preparing me to be the best I can be for these kids. You know what I'm saying? That's really the only goal. That's the main goal. Is just be the best I can for these kids. And all of those were good, but I had some family issues over this week, and really kind of set me back a little bit. I say, um, I had to I had to say a couple things. Things were said to me. Um, I had to cut some people off. You know how it goes, man. But like at the end of the day, I don't mean to sound selfish, but it's about your mental health. Like you can't keep people around you that are gonna bring you down or be very negative to you and what you got going on. So it's like if you gotta cut them off, you gotta cut them off, no matter who they are. I'm not gonna name drop. That's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? But I had to move on with my life. I feel better now, but it hurts. You know what I'm saying? I'm be honest with y'all. It hurts who I had to cut off, but at the end of the day, it's best for me. That's what you gotta do. That's one thing I did learn in life. You gotta do what's best for you. But yeah, man. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into this week. Part two, my road to self destruction. Here we go. So yeah, man. This week on the podcast, we're gonna be touching a real touchy topic of sexual abuse, and forgive me on this one. This one is a little touchy for me, but I'm doing this for y'all and everybody out there that needs to hear it. Honestly, I'm doing it for me too. It would be kind of good getting it off. But before I start this though, I just wanna make this clear. Um, my parents aren't bad parents at all. They had no idea of what was going on. They just became aware last year. Well, late last year, and really that was just on my part because I felt like protecting my family, like, cause I know my family, and I know if I had told my mom, she'd probably be in jail right now. To be completely honest with y'all, so it was, and the lady, like, I have no hate in my heart for that lady. Like if I seen her today, I wouldn't, I would ask her why. You know what I'm saying? Like the obvious question of why, but I couldn't see myself hating her. Never did. Um, so I wouldn't want her to get caught up in some mess, and it just spiral out of control, and really I'm just trying to protect everybody. So when I start this story, um, I'm not gonna get too deep of age and say too many details that might give it away. You know what I'm saying? I don't. That's the last thing I want. She's one thing about me. I forgive people for what they've done, and I move on. I move on with my life. So um, yeah. So I'm not gonna give y'all too much. I'm just gonna give y'all the basic. But yeah, man. I was in elementary school. Like I said, I'm not gonna give y'all the grade, but I was in elementary school, and when I would go to my dad's house, that's where it all occurred. And as a kid, you're innocent. You believe what older people tell you. You know what I'm saying? You're like a sponge. You're gonna soak it up. So it was just a time where I would go over there and she would pop up, and like my dad could be at work, or it's like she knew when to pop up, and she knew when I could possibly be there alone, or yeah. So like when she groomed me to the point of me knowing if I told something it would be problems, and she made it very clear, like, okay, if you tell your dad about this or what we going, he's gonna be angry at me. She's gonna be angry at me. My mom's gonna be angry at me, and it's gonna be bad for me. And as a kid, I'm scared because I'm like, what does that really mean? Like, what's gonna happen if they get mad? You know what I'm saying? So, and she just made it seem like it was a game, and yeah, she just made it seem like it was a game. So it felt okay, and so moving forward in my life, after going through that, it wasn't too long of a period because I started to distance myself from going to my dad's house, because like it wasn't like, it's like, okay, I knew something wasn't right, but at the same time I kind of liked it. Like I grew to kind of like that sensation that she would provide for me. So at a young age, I became somewhat knowing of how to pleasure myself. I didn't know what sex was completely, but I knew how to pleasure myself. I knew how to pleasure myself, and I became addicted to it when I would go home, and I would pleasure myself a lot even before I hit puberty. Like I was already knowing how to do that. I was knowing how to pleasure a woman, not with penetration, but you know what I'm saying? You know, forgive me. I'm trying to, but this is very touchy for me. But yeah, so I was able to know that. So then when I'm going to school, I'm kind of relaying that in a way. Like I'm kissing the slide. I'm trying to, I'm trying to relay these acts to girls my age, at a young age. And so it got worse. It got worse as I got older. And with this story time, this is just gonna be it'll be all over the place dealing with this issue at hand. So, don't get too caught up on, you know what I'm saying? So, so when I got to middle school, that's actually when I lost my virginity. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I knew, like I said, I knew how to pleasure myself, and I knew how to pleasure a woman in the oral way, but I didn't know how sex worked. I didn't know none of that. So, to lighten up the to lighten this conversation up a little bit, just to kind of give us both a break. Um, I was learning from my friends, man. I remember I had a childhood friend, and his big cousin was talking to us about it. And he was like, you know, if you don't have a condom, use a Walmart bag. If you don't have a condom, use a Walmart bag. And no nobody. I didn't even know what a condom was, honestly, at that age. Like I'm sitting here like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be cool, so you like, okay. So I'm like, I'm soaking it in. I'm soaking it in. So then when time came for me, I remembered that. Oh man, I'm not gonna put the girl's name out there, man. If she knows that, she's probably gonna laugh seeing this. But yeah, man, we tried, and I used the trick, man. It was not working. I did not know what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing, man. But the fact that the point of the story is, though, man, I was at a young age, like, craving that sexual um sensation. And so as I got older, as when I figured it out, that opened up a whole new door for me. I became very attached to sex. Like, it was more so like a drug for me. Like having sex gave me a drive. It gave me a thrill that I was constantly chasing. I was constantly chasing it. And I do apologize for, women I've hurt in the past, dealing with that, because at the time, like, I was so caught on that. I wasn't knowing how to love people. I wasn't My way of showing love was just having sex and just moving on. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a girl broke my heart, I'm going to have sex with hella girls, like, just to cope with that. I was always searching for you know, the next thing. And so I wish I could have been man enough to open up, but I'm just a child. I was just a child at that age. I was immature. And really, it affected me, man. And, like, going forward, I didn't like people touching me at all. Like, I didn't like cuddles for a long time. I still don't like cuddles for a long time, or hugging me for a long time, or holding hands for a long time, because these are things she would make me do. So it's like, being older, it just takes me back to that place, and it makes me uncomfortable. So I just don't, and that causes problems. And I have a problem now with showing affection. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if any of y'all out there can relate, but yeah, I have a hard time telling people I love I love them, like I should. And just being able to receive affection makes me uncomfortable now. And I've been trying to cope with it. I've been getting better with it. I've calmed down a um, whole lot, calmed down a whole lot, and I can see the change in my life. I feel a whole lot more healthier, cause I was very reckless, but I was reckless without knowing why I was being reckless, and so that's a problem with a lot of men. A lot of men, like we go through sexual abuse, and matter of fact, let me ask y'all this in the comments. I want y'all to answer this. Um, why is it why is it okay for a 15-year-old boy to have sex with a 30-year-old woman? That's like praised on, you know what I'm saying? No shame on either part. But if it's a 15-year-old girl and a 30-year-old man, the man is sick, the girl's being abused. Why can't the males get the same reaction as the young girl would get? Please send me your thoughts on that. I'm really curious on that because that's really the main problem. Like growing up, and like I say, I'm not bashing the man. Like my dad, he would encourage me to look at butts and look at women. He would encourage that. So it's like while I was going through it, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, so is this a bad thing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this a bad thing? When whole time I was getting abused, like whole time you might have been going through the same thing, brother, and you've been getting abused, man. And now being older, um, before I found my girlfriend, I was I had a thing for older women, like way older than me, like way older than me. And people like to call them cougars, but if you're underage, you're a predator. To be honest, if the kid is underage, you're a predator. If you get offended by that, you get offended by that. But that's the facts, man. If the kid is underage and you are significant, if you're double their age, you are a predator. And it should not get preyed on. It shouldn't like you should not get praised for that. It's kind of sick, to be honest. It is sick. So I just really want to know why us males don't get the same sympathy and same justice for the same crime and same act that will happen to a young female. Like I feel for both genders. It shouldn't happen to either, but why is it glorified for one and looked down upon on the other? Like I really I've never been able to understand that. No one's been able to answer that for me, and people will look at me crazy. Like my peers. I'm like I've heard stories, and they're like, man, I wish I wish that happened to me, and I'm just like I'm going along with it because I don't want to come off as weak and yeah, I just didn't want to come off as weak or get laughed at for having my views. And it's I feel bad for a lot of dudes, man. I looked up stats and it's one in every 10 guys go through sexual abuse, but they don't talk about it. And then it causes these same problems I'm having in my life. So the steps I've been taking, I've been going to therapy. My therapist, shout D'Amico Thorpe, man. He's the one that helped me get this podcast going. But I've been going to therapy, and we haven't dove too much into it because he's been helping me get my podcast right, and really just focus on my mental right now. Not really, we haven't really dove back into my past real heavy, but he's really been helping me. That's been my way of just kind of and another thing is like what's helping me is self reflection. I do a whole lot of self reflection of my actions and people I possibly hurt in the past. Like I don't want to continue that cycle of hurting others and hurting myself over what happened to me because it's not right. I can't use what happened to me to make it okay for me to mistreat others. And that's not even only just sexual abuse. Like that's with my mental health. Period. Like I have days when I snap at people, and I have days I don't talk to people, and that shouldn't. It's like yeah, you should have those days, but at the same time, you can't use that as a crutch. So that's one thing I'm trying. That's what's helping me get over this right now. It's just I don't want it to be a crutch. I want to get past this, and talking about it really helps because I never talked about it. Even with my parents, like I told them what happened, but I never told them. I haven't been able to tell anybody what really happened. But even though I skimmed across some of the details, this helped me a lot. This helped me a whole lot, and I just hope it helps somebody else out there. Um, Females too, but mostly males, man. With this topic, cause it's not talked about, and a lot of males are ashamed, or they don't know that they've been abused. Sad part about it, I went through that, and here we are today, making a podcast, making an episode about it. So yeah, that's that's it for today. I'm sorry about it's not as long or as maybe it's probably not as interesting as my stories will be going forward, but this is a real sensitive topic for me. I'm really coming out of my shell with this one. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for part two, man. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's gonna wrap it up. If you want to talk about it more in depth, shoot me a DM, man. I'm always open to talk about it. I know it's a very touchy topic. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, and matter of fact, I forgot to mention, man. I had a family member go through similar things, and I never talked to anybody about it, but I exploded. I mean, I broke my whole phone. You know what I'm saying? No one understood why. I know my family was like, why is he so like? I was so passionate because I knew what she had been through, and I knew what it was gonna do to her mentally, and how it was gonna affect her life. So I'm glad I didn't do anything crazy, cause I was like, yeah, man, I had really exploded. And before any of y'all out there just explode because of this, if this is one of your reasons for, your depression or anything you're going through, please talk to somebody. If that's me, if that's a therapist, family, friend, teacher, somebody, man. You gotta talk to somebody, especially with this topic. It's really not healthy to hold it in. It can cause a lot of trouble in your life, and so yeah, man, that's gonna be part two. That's gonna sum up part two. Next week we gonna be back at it with part three. I got merch coming soon. Um, and yeah, man, y'all know the motto, man. You were made uniquely, and your struggles made you. It's all love. I see y'all next week, man.